Are you a man who periodically struggles navigating intimacy in your relationship and in your marriage? Well, this is a video that will simply, in a straightforward way, help you improve in your ability to navigate that. I'm Ryan Ginn. I've been working with men for over 15 years, helping them actually become effective and confident in their primary relationships. You know, for most men, they equate intimacy and sex, right? In couples therapy, it's their code word. You know, nowadays there's a little bit more like, well, I recognize that it's not just about sex, but you know, for many men, they're very understandably, like, sex is great, sex is satisfying, you know, it's wonderful release for men, and for women, for that matter. But But, you know, men are preoccupied, or, you know, there's something about our wiring that's, you know, very goal-oriented. And the classic struggle, right, of the guy that is a bit, I'm not getting my needs met in the relationship. In other words, I'm not having sex as frequently as I would like. The woman's like, well, I don't feel close to you. Our connection doesn't feel good. And so here we are, right? It's kind of this classic struggle. So what is the shift that you as a man need to facilitate inside of yourself and then in the relationship? It starts with noticing this part of you that wants to move towards sex and the wonderful release that can come with that. And engaging in a process where you can notice that it's not bad, it is what it is, and actively, deliberately setting it aside so that you can bring some genuine, sincere curiosity into the relationship, the quality of the connection. And that may start, I think a simple, straightforward way to start would be to initiate, to take leadership in the dimension of intimacy with your partner, with your wife, by sitting down, you know, creating some devoted space where you're free from distraction, where you're really prepared to, again, this is a theme throughout my work, of course, right? To listen, to ask an open-ended question like, what do you want more of in our relationship? She might say, I just want you to be more curious about, like, what's happening for me. You don't ask questions about my life very much. And then at night you just want to have sex. And I don't feel close to you. It's good information. It could also be a question of what kind of connection would feel really good to you. I just want you to listen to me. Okay, right? Good. Again, good information. Or I'd really love for you, when you come home, to, like, take a moment with me and give me a hug and tell me something you appreciate about me. Maybe she could be that explicit, but maybe you could also just do that. This all may feel really daunting to you. It's totally understandable, right? You know, you may have never really had a direct, open conversation about sex in your relationship. I meet a lot of couples who actually haven't. There's no expectation to be, you know, without some nerves or some awkwardness. It's perfectly natural. But I want to support you to get to the point where you feel, I can do this. I know what Ryan's talking about. And I want to provide you with some relatively clear and straightforward steps that you can take. I would say the first step is for you to take some reflection time around your own, say, sexual history, like how you came into your sexuality and how it's showed up in the various relationships that you've been in. And this might bring up some stuff, right? But it's important, right? It's part conditioning, and you know, we live in a culture that's not necessarily, you know, very mature, developed in terms of this. So it may also be helpful to get some professional help, so to speak, right? Sit with a therapist and say, I really want to look at this. Like, I see some patterns. I want to understand them, right? So that would be a great first step, right? Just gentle, curious, self-compassionate reflection on your sexuality. Second step, start to open up or expand your definition of what intimacy is. This is really crucial for most men. Most men, like I said at the outset, have combined, blended, like just sexual intercourse with intimacy, even, right? And I want to encourage you to start to really expand your definition, your concept of what intimacy is. Closeness, right? Feeling like all like more of you, all of you can be seen and known, even celebrated, incorporated in the relationship. And I'll give you some questions here and now for you to take with you. One great question would be to ask yourself, how do I feel close to my partner? Is it a certain form of touch? Is it when she deeply listens to me? You get to just kind of really consider that. How could I feel even closer? Is there something I really need to or want to hear from her? Something I want her to see in me? You can engage in this question around your own definition, concept of what intimacy is. Now the third step, to which these first two steps have really prepared you, is to enter into this conversation with her, right? Where you're curious of what's her sexual history, what's her concept of intimacy, what would lead her to feeling closer to you. You can ask her these questions from a place of just sincere, open curiosity, because in my experience, most men have not actually asked those questions, those simple questions. This is a good start. I know it might feel a bit daunting, and again, like I said, totally normal, yet this is at the crux of it. If you found value in this video, please like or subscribe and share with a friend. And if you want to delve deeper into this work, there's a free masterclass in the description below. It's the 4 hard truths to transforming your relationship. It's a great class that'll help you move towards achieving your goals in your relationship.